It's time for you to decide what it is you want and then pour yourself into it. I just think we're all running out of time and we're not paying attention to the fact that the world is moving as quickly as it is, and as you watch this video, everything is shifting. I go back to sitting on the beach with my son in Mexico. This was almost 11 years ago. We're laying on this beautiful beach. It's 11 o'clock at night and he says, "Daddy, how many stars are there?" And I remember putting my hand up and telling him the thing that I was told, which was, if you put your hand up, you eliminate 1,000,000 stars. So he puts both hands and both feet up and he says, "Daddy, how old is the Earth?" And I said, "Michael, I'm not a geologist, I don't know." And I said, "Let's just say it's 1,000,000,000." And he's like, "How many zeros is that?" And I'm like, "Grab a stick." And in the sand, this beautiful bay down in Mexico, he does 1,000,000,000,000. And then he looks at me and he says, "Daddy, how old are you?" And at the time I was in my I think it was like 36 or 37, and he writes that below this trillion number and he says, "How old will you be when you die?" And I was like, wow. I'm like, well, the average male lives to be 87, the average woman lives to be 89. I think it would be really healthy, I'm gonna live to be 100. And he goes, okay, and he puts 87. And then he looked at me and he says, "Daddy, you don't have a lot of time." And I thought, man, I don't need any more motivation, but he was right. None of us have any more time. It's time for you to decide what it is you want and then pour yourself into it. That night, I said to my son, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, we were just in Chicago with a friend of ours and he builds skyscrapers and he says, "I want to be like Uncle Jimmy and I want to build skyscrapers." And I'm like, then you know what we have to do? We got to start. We got to start right now. And you know what we did from 11:30 until 1:30 in the morning? We built skyscraper sandcastles, because once you decide what you want, you got to activate immediately and start doing something. And you know what? My wife came down at 1:30 and she was like, "What are you guys doing?" And my son looked her right in the eye and said, "Mommy, we're building skyscraper sandcastles because we don't have any time." Tick tock, tick tock. What are you gonna do? You gonna get off your butt and finally get after it? Or are you just gonna let another day go by? Get off Instagram, get off YouTube, and get in action.